Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. Now, the content I'm going to show you tonight to send you into the weekend, I tell you what, leave it to the BBC to put some actual data behind gun violence in the United States, which kind of throws a lot of information that I'm sure you haven't heard a lot from the mainstream media here in this country, which has a bit of a gun control agenda. Everything is going to be linked in the description box below, and I'm doing this video just so you have all the facts for the coming conversations that we know are going to be assaulting us from the left. Now, if you are new or you are a returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and turning the notification bell on. We need as many people as we can to get into the trenches, be counted amongst friends, and then pass the blessing along to the next generation along with us. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration, and today's message is brought to you by LAS Concealment. If you're in the market for a holster for one of your favorite freedom tools, look no further than LAS Concealment. LAS Concealment makes all of their holsters custom molded to each individual freedom piece and is made of Kydex, some of the most reliable material in the world for this exact purpose. Tested out by some of the world's most elite special forces, they have inside and outside the waistband options and something for everybody, so check them out. There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to LAS Concealment for making this content possible. But my brothers and sisters, we have got to dive into this because like I said in the introduction, leave it to the BBC to actually put some information out there that is not extremely crazy far left gun control and actually has statistics that we quote on this channel all the time. This is put out there to help you. Let me know if it does, and let's get it. Gun violence in the U.S. and what the statistics tell us. Now, of course, gun violence is a made-up term from the left, so that's not starting out too great. Gun violence implies that an inanimate object gets up and is all of a sudden violent. People are violent. The tool is the thing that varies throughout the entire ages. That's the interesting part. If you were truly to believe what the left will tell you around gun violence, then there would be no violence until right about when firearms were invented. But there is. Everyone knows it. It's a silly talking point, but let's keep going. Here's the first thing that they bring to attention. Now, I want to bring this out here, and I do this all the time. Gun Violence Archive. This is incredibly important. And as we go through and talk to people about gun control versus gun rights and all the statistics they throw at us, Gun Violence Archives always comes up because it's a manipulated source. It's a far left source, and it would have you believe that 70 mass shootings have happened in the United States this year. We all know that's insane. That's not completely true at all. Let's just get into it. There have already been more than 70 mass shootings across the U.S. so far this year, with California experiencing two of the most high profile in January. Figures from the Gun Violence Archive, a nonprofit research database, shows that the number of mass shootings has gone up significantly in recent years. The reason that it's gone up significantly in recent years is because they changed their criteria. They don't give you any type of context. They don't tell you that it was a gang shooting. They don't tell you that it was a drive-by. They don't tell you it's a drug deal. They don't tell you it was inner workplace violence. They don't tell you anything. Anytime that four or more people are injured in some form or fashion, it's a mass shooting, which leads you to the point of, were there 70 mass shootings so far in 2023? No, everyone knows there hasn't been, and it's a silly point on its face, but they still love to quote that number. But let's keep going, because it speaks for itself. And then we'll get to the juicy stuff. In the last 3 years, there have been more than 600 mass shootings, almost 2 a day on average. Do you remember 2 mass shootings a day on average over the last 3 years? I certainly don't. Do you remember 600? Nope, no one does. The reason I'm going through this so meticulously is because it's ridiculous on its face, and we all know it is, but we need to be able to call it out because this did not happen. While the U.S. does not have a single definition for mass shootings, the Gun Violence Archive defines a mass shooting as an incident in which 4 or more people are injured or killed. Their figure includes shootings that happen both in homes and in public places. Again, not mass shootings and no context and no crime, no nothing, just if individuals were injured. But let's keep going because this is where they really start to dismantle the whole facade of gun control. How gun-related deaths actually break down. This is something you don't hear the mainstream media in this country say a whole lot. In 2020, when this was actually researched, 24,292 were from suicide, with 19,384 from homicide. Does that sound like it jives with 600 mass shootings in the last 3 years? Does that sound like it really works out? It can't, because if that were truly the case, these numbers would be greatly skewed, wouldn't they? Yes, they would. But that's my whole point. This is all skewed data. But now, Let me show you what the defunct NRA, the NRA that no longer can even buckle its own shoes, the gun opposition and the gun lobby that controls Washington, D.C. Look at the influence that they have. Check this out. Despite years of financial woes and internal strife, the National Rifle Association remains the most powerful gun lobby in the United States, with a substantial budget to influence members of Congress on gun policy. Now, I'm sure you guys were here with me when we went through all the articles for the past 2 years about the NRA being dead. Gun rights are dead. It's the time to push for all-out gun control. And meanwhile, constitutional carry got to 25 states, and we have up to 29 states coming in this year. Interesting how that doesn't really jive. It's almost like it was a marketing push to get more Democrats elected into the midterms, doesn't it? Yes, it does, and that is the big ploy. Over the last several election cycles, it and other organizations have consistently spent more on pro-gun rights messaging than their rivals in the gun control lobby. Wait a minute, gun rights is spending more money to defend freedom than gun control activists are spending to take it away? Check out this graph. The red bars that you're seeing are from gun rights activist groups, NRA, GOA, FPC, whatever you want to call. And then the blue is gun control groups. Isn't it interesting how when you look at the statistics on actual paper, how the facade and the posturing from the left seems to be kind of outspent by everyday Americans, NRA, GOA, FPC, whatever group you want to talk about. We are not alone in this fight. We are making a humongous difference, and we will continue to do so on channels like this one, all the other channels out there, and you guys watching every single day. We are making a greater impact than they want you to believe, and these statistics are not something that you would see anywhere else. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.